What is up, guys? I'm Sypher, and I'm going to be showing you guys the secret to making happy melodies inside of Logic. But first things first, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so that way you guys will be ready for the next video that comes out. And with that, let's get started. First thing I want to do is change this tempo to something like 145, because I think that's a little bit more upbeat and it'll sound better. I've also loaded in this pluck sound for us to use. And typically when you're writing a happy melody, you want to stick within a major scale, and the easiest major scale to work in is C major because it's all white keys. And also when you're using the scale to write your chords out, you want to try to use only the major chords within that scale. And for any major scale, the first note, the fourth note, and the fifth note will always be major chords. Once you start adding in those minor chords, it's not going to feel as happy. So I'm going to start off with a C major chord, and then we'll copy and paste that here, and we'll use an F major chord, and then we'll add in a G major, we'll go back down to an F major. You can already hear that's starting to sound a little happy. And so now we can start to add some rhythm. So I'm just going to copy and paste these chords like that. Now that we have that, we can start adding in our melody on top. So I'm hearing a little descending pattern right here towards that end. Okay, that's good. Now we can start adding some more notes on top. And I'm also going to increase the velocity a little bit so it stands out. And one thing I'm going to do before that, actually, is right now these chords are jumping a little bit all over the place. So one thing we can do is find a common note between these chords and put them together. So in the C major chord it has a C, and in this F major chord there's also a C. So what we can do is bring this an octave down so that the chord doesn't shift as much. We can do the same thing with this D there and bring that down. And let's just do that as well. Maybe keep those up an octave. Let's add these back in. I think that sounds better. So now I'm going to add in that melody that we had. I'm just going to repeat that. Now what you can do is add in a bass to this, and since we use the C major chord, F major chord, and G major, we can just use those notes as our bass notes. So I'm just going to click those in. What we can do now is find a different instrument to add in a lead. I'm just going to play around and mess around until I get something I like. Alright, so I made that melody and it sounds pretty good. And one thing you can do after working in C major, you can highlight all of your melodic elements and come over into the piano roll. If you select everything, you can hold down Option and press the up or down arrows to move around your instruments and see if there's some other scale that you prefer. So I think G major works pretty well, and I like that, so I'm going to keep it. And one other thing you can do is towards the end of the beat when everything's finishing, what you can do is actually select everything and just shift it up 2 more times, and what that'll do is basically have a key change that goes up one whole step, and it sort of makes the whole thing feel happier. So if we listen right here. Yeah, and so I'm going to go ahead and add some drums to this now, and I'll mess around a little bit more with this melody and you'll hear the final result now.